and to give you all something to chew on a little bit. And really what we're doing is we are shifting from the hustle and bustle and the busy and the, maybe dealing with family, maybe being alone, maybe, dealing with all the stress that's around us, and taking this practice and really utilizing it as a way to balance. And I want to speak to balance a little bit, balancing our nervous systems, and we want to favor more neutrality. And this is something that I strive for every day and that I work on every day, is to be more neutral with everything that comes your way. And I know that's a little bit easier said than done, but it is a practice. When we are extreme with one thing or another, it pulls us out of our balanced state. And if you look at nature, when nature is balanced, everything is functioning optimally. But when it's not, we get decay, and we get, all of the bad things that goes along with that. It really depletes our bodies and our minds and our spirits. So this is a practice to bring you more grounded. And we're going to do that through a little bit more slower pace and focusing more on how you're feeling in every moment and shifting out of the hustle and bustle. So this idea of gratitude, it's not something that I want you just to think about, but actually feel in your body. And if you have a gratitude practice every day, you will have better immunity. You will have better functioning organ systems. There's studies that show that it actually has this effect on our organ systems. 25% of people who have a gratitude practice every day are happier in general. So this is pretty powerful. It's not just something, be grateful, be grateful. It kind of gets thrown around a lot, this idea of being grateful. But it's really very deep and should be practiced on a daily basis. Grateful people have a healthier way of handling stress and difficult situations. Strongest links to mental health, grateful people. We are actually more adaptable when we have gratitude practice. It's the number one feeling that promotes well-being inside of us. So this is beautiful. So we're going to work with the breath to help us balance those two branches of the nervous systems, the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And so they call it, this block breathing that we're going to do, we do this a lot in our practice, but this block breathing that we're going to start with is called Samavritti. And Sama means even, and Vritti means wave. So it's basically an even wave of the breath. And it really helps us to shift out of the doing and the, pedal to the metal type approach into more being and relaxing. So if anything, there's some words that I want you to maybe recite in your brain, and that is relax and just be, and be more introspective. Okay, so let's begin. We'll start seated. Making sure the spine is nice and free and long, neutral. Allow yourself to arrive by allowing everything else to just kind of fade away to the side for this next hour and 15 minutes or so that we have together. Notice where you have tension and stress in your body this morning or this afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Allow your shoulders to relax back and down. Allow your eyes to soften. Allow your face to soften, to relax. And allow your belly to relax. And breathe into the fullness of the belly through your inhale. And gently contract the navel towards the spine on your exhale. Good. And just do that a couple times, just this nice soft belly breathing. So in this practice, we're moving from striving into arriving, from doing into being, from pushing into allowing. So we'll reflect on those words throughout practice: being, allowing, and relaxing. Notice what that does to your body, to your chemistry, when you really embody these feelings, these ideas. And then on your next inhale, take a breath in through the nose for 4 counts with a full belly. Pause the breath in for 4 counts. And then exhale through your nose for 4 counts. This is the Samavriti. Pause the breath with the breath out for 4 counts. And then repeat that. So go ahead and find your own dance with this. If it doesn't feel comfortable to breathe in for 4 counts, maybe you're just at 3 right now, that's okay. Just make it comfortable and create a steadiness. I can't tell you how important doing this pranayama and this breath work is. So we're going to do this for about a minute. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about what's next. Just try to stay present with what you're doing. You're halfway there doing this breath. Finding this balanced place, especially during the holiday season, is only going to help ground us and protect us with anything that comes our way. Last breath here, last round. And then let's bring the hands into the heart center, creating this intention for your practice this morning or this afternoon. It's just allowing some space, slowing things down a little bit. And finding some gratitude. Namaste to all of you, welcoming you. Thank you so much for being here. It's always such an honor to guide you all through your practice. Good. And then let's renew the length of the spine. So please make sure that you're not slouching. If you need to sit in a chair in this beginning part of the practice, you could do that, or elevate your hips on a couple of blankets or whatever you have. Ears should land right over the shoulders. Shoulders should be right over your hips. And I'm just going to have you keep your shoulders right where they are, nice and locked in and stable. And take your eye gaze over towards the right shoulder. And just as far over until you feel the resistance, and just pause. Notice where you feel the stretch. And then let's take it all the way over to the left side. Look over the left, just as far over that's comfortable. Not forcing anything, just meeting that resistance. And now bring the breath into it. So you're going to inhale with a full belly and take that eye gaze and your face over towards the right. And then exhale all the way over to the left. Navel hugs back gently on the end of the exhale. Inhale, expand your belly, expand the lungs, and look over to the right. Exhale, contract the navel, gently squeeze in and look to the left. And now you just go on your own with your nice, steady cadence. Continue to let go of all of the events of the day and what you have to do today. Just be right here. Let's do one more round to either side. And then when you're complete with that, just come back through neutral. And then we'll drop the chin down towards the throat. So we're going to move through flexion and extension of the neck. So just pause here. Feel that stretch. Go down into the middle of the back maybe. Inhale as you look up and as far back that's comfortable, keeping your neck long and spacious. Don't let the head collapse into the shoulder basket. And then as you exhale, chin down towards the throat. So please continue that on your own with your nice lifted chest and long spine. Inhale as you look up, and exhale as you squeeze the chin towards the throat. Just a couple more rounds. Staying very aware with what your body's feedback is giving you, especially in your practice. Okay, let's do one more round. Inhale and exhale. Good. Coming back up through that neutral. And now we'll just drop the right ear to the right shoulder and stretch your left fingertips down alongside the floor, or maybe if you're in a chair, you're just reaching long right alongside the body. Notice that stretch all on the side of the neck there. And then we'll come up and over to the other side. Let your left ear drop to the left shoulder and stretch your right fingertips away from your shoulder. Good. Coming back up through center. And then we'll do these little circles. Just little circles where if you had a clock, I like to use that reference because it makes sense. If your nose was the center of the clock, or it's a hand rather, your nose is the center, but you're circling around the numbers. Your nose is touching each number. So up is going to be that 12 o'clock, and then over to the side will be either 3 or 9, depends on which way you're going. And then down is the 6 o'clock. So you're gonna make these nice, big or small circles, depending on how your neck feels. And then what's happened to the breath here? We're probably overthinking the movement. So go back to the breath and inhale halfway around your clock and exhale the other half. do one more circle around the clock in this direction. And then when you're ready, you just reverse that circle. Go the other direction, maybe counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on which way you started. And I encourage you to move slower if you're one of those people that likes to go fast pace into everything. Go slow. Just unwinding the neck. Good. One more circle around this clock. And then coming right back up through that neutral. And now extend your right arm out to the side. Reach up out of the left waist. We'll take a little side bend. I'm going to bring my left hand to the back of my head. I'm mirroring you, so it's actually easier for you to follow if you're watching. So bring the hand to the back of the head, right where the occiput is, the occipital ridge, that bone right at the base of the neck, or the skull. And then lean the head back into the hand. Point the elbows up and over the ear. So you really get in there in that intercostal side body stretch. And breathe deeply and fully into the left side of your body. Just allow yourself to unwind. And then let's inhale, reach the arms up so you go long, and then exhale over to the other side. So reach up first, get that space, and then just take that right hand to the back of your head, leaning back. Point the elbow up and over. You can always soften that left elbow a little bit. This feels really good. Breathe deeply and fully here. And then reaching back up, inhale, reach long. Interlace the hands and flip the palms up, turn them inside out. And really reaching the ribs away from the pelvis. The pelvis roots down, the ribs lift up. And then let's sweep that right arm underneath the left elbow. So you have your elbows crossing. If you're really tight in the shoulders, you can just reach for your opposite shoulders like you're giving yourself a hug. And just pull down. Then you'll really feel that stretch. That might be enough for you. Otherwise, you can wrap and twist, bring the palms together. And then pull everything down, squeeze. Really feeling that nice stretch across the back of the shoulders. Just enjoy this. One more breath. Whether you've been traveling or sitting a lot or just, all the craziness with the holidays that brings. Really enjoy this process of just dropping in and slowing down. Okay, let's open up wide into the arms across the chest, cactus arms. Big inhale here. And then sweep that left elbow underneath the right elbow. Cross if you can, wrap and twist. Otherwise, just reach for your shoulders. Squeeze into the chest. Pull the shoulders down. Relax. Breathe slowly and deeply. You're all in a safe place here on your mat. You can let go and relax. Let's take one more full breath here. Just pulling those shoulders down. reaching the arms back up again. And try to reach up and touch the ceiling. Pull the shoulders up by the ears so you have no neck. And then keeping the arms strong, just glide the shoulders down. So that really nestles those shoulders in their socket. Let's do that one more time. Reach up, so you're elevating. And then you're dropping the shoulders down. So you feel that gliding. Let's do it once more. Inhale, reaching long. Create no neck. And then keep the arms strong. Just slide those shoulder blades down your back. Good, and then let the arms come down. We're gonna put the opposite foot in front if you're sitting cross-legged. And that's gonna feel funny. You're going to your, not the normal side that you normally do, but you'll feel a stretch in the opposite hip there, which is nice. Take your hands on top of your right knee. And then place the right hand on top of the left hand. So lengthen up to the crown of your head. Bring more weight to your left hip so you're not leaning to the right here. Keeping your spine long, just open up that right arm out and back behind you. Reaching long across the chest, looking towards the thumb. And then place that hand right on top of that left hand. So now let's breathe with that. Inhale, lengthen up and reach out behind you like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. And then exhale, bring your hands together. So let's do that 2 more times. Inhale to expand the lungs, to grow longer in your spine. And then exhale, everything comes back. Okay, once more. Inhale. We're getting into some twisting here, which is so good for digestion. Once more, last time on this side. A little added bonus one. Good, and then we're just gonna take those hands over to your left side. Place now the left hand on top of the right. Get the right hip a little heavier. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. And then as you inhale, open that arm out to the side. Full breath. And then exhale, hands come back together. So keep going and make sure that your spine is long before you twist. That's really, really important. We never want to twist a compressed spine, so you want to stay nice and lifted as you twist. And there are different organ systems that live on different sides of the body, from right to left, so you're stimulating different organs as you move from right to left. Let's do this once more. Full lungs. Exhale, everything comes back. Good, and then place the hands on top of your knees and then just circle now. Circle, these are called Sufi circles. And you're getting more mobility in your ribs and your spine here, so really drop back in a rounded spine and then find yourself in an arching by shifting your chest forward. Getting that articulation through the vertebras. This actually feels really good. It's one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling particularly tight. This is very helpful. Let's reverse the circle. Go the other way now. Favoring peace and calm. Relaxed and steady, grounded, all these qualities that we want to invoke. Let's do one more big circle. That way we're in more of a balanced state. Much more life-supporting, health-supporting when we're balanced. Not too extreme. Okay, come right back up through the center, lengthen up to the crown of the head, and just close down your eyes for just a moment. just want you to feel what you feel. Notice the change. Good. And then let's come around onto hands and knees, so you can move your blankets off to the side. Come around to hands and knees, and then we're just gonna stretch the right leg back. I want the ball of the foot onto the mat. And press through the heel of your foot. That's gonna really be nice. Stretch in the back of the leg. You can see I've got these big thick socks on. It's a little chilly this morning. I think I need to take those off. Definitely yoga works better with bare feet so you can grip the mat. Good, and then let's spin the back right heel down so your toes are facing towards the right. And then take your right arm up. So you're stacking your shoulders, looking up towards the thumb if your neck is okay, otherwise neutral or looking down is fine. Let's take that top right arm and stretch it over the ear. And then let's circle that arm in front of your face, right along the body, and right back up. I love this. So just circling in that shoulder. Take a few exhales, maybe out your mouth, if that's helpful for you. It helps me to let go of the tension. It helps to support that letting go. Let's do one more big circle. Good, and then we're going to transition into a little baby wrap. So take the arm around the base of the spine. Seek out your left inner thigh maybe, and then roll that shoulder, that top shoulder back. Just wherever that arm lands is where it is. It's probably not your inner thigh actually, it's more of your outer hip. Roll the shoulder back, maybe look up, and again you can look down if that feels better for your neck. Very gently unravel that right arm and take the arm down. Take that right knee down and then switch to the left side. The left foot's going to extend back. The ball of the foot presses and press through the heel of your foot. You can take a couple of rocking forward and back if you like. That feels good to me, my ankle. Press through the heel and roll to the toes. Press through the heel. Stay back there. Hold that stretch. And then spin that back heel down, anchor the leg, anchor the foot, and take your left arm up. Stacking your shoulders, find your balance. And then stretch that arm over the ear. And when you're ready, you can start your circles. Circle along the body, right back up. Good, along the body. And right back up. Big circles in that shoulder. Good. Doing one more big circle. Feels good. And then we'll take it into a little baby wrap. You might find your outer hip, or your hand might just find the sacrum. But just wherever you are, work at rolling the shoulders back. Open up the chest, looking down, looking straight ahead, whatever's comfortable. Good, and then very gently unraveling that arm. Take the hands down, take the knees down, and then inhale, lift the chest, lift your seat. Arching the spine, exhale, round the spine, let your head just drop, spread the shoulder blades. Inhale into cow, exhale into cat. And keeping that going, a couple more rounds. Once more. Please practices have never been more important than they are right now. Let's come back into neutral. Take the knees out wide, big toes come together to touch. Come back into child's pose. Rest your forehead down, breathe into the back of the body. These ancient practices really act as a protection for us. They ground us, they help us to stay more neutral, more balanced, healthier beings on every level. And then let's come back into that tabletop, hands and knees. Make sure the knees are underneath your sit bones, hands underneath the shoulders. And then move the fingers out to the side. Yes, we are doing our wrist stretch. Take the fingers to face them back towards your knees if you can. So helpful tool with that is to bring your knees in a little bit and then get your hands all the way around if you can. And then as you're ready, start to move the knees a little bit back, and that will help to create the stretch. And just take it slow. Breathe in and out the nose, and I like to do these little circles around the palm of the hand, like 3 or 4 times, just little circles, one direction. And then reverse it the other direction, 3, 4, 5 times. Walk your knees back in. If you need to help yourself, turn your hands back around. Just be careful, be gentle. Bring your knees together. If you can sit on your heels comfortably, that's where we're going. But if you need a little help, you can move your feet apart and then place a block or 2 right in between your heels. Sit on the blocks or your heels. Okay? Take your hands forward in front of you and just pull the fingers down so that they're reaching towards the underneath side of your arm. You're stretching the top of the wrist, the top of the forearm. Inhale, open the hands wide, spread the fingers. Exhale, pull the fingers down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Once more. It's really nice to stretch the wrist for so many reasons. And then let's make a fist here and circle the wrists. For one, it helps to clear out or help to give us the antidote for all of the technology that we're doing these days. But also we visit our hands a lot in our yoga practice. So we want to make sure our hands are healthy, wrists are healthy, stretch. We got to take care of them too. Go the other direction now a few times. And then shake out the hands. Take a breath in through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. Coming forward onto hands and knees. Then let's curl the toes under now. If you had blocks there, you can move them off to the side. Bring your feet and knees together, curl the toes under, and push the hips back towards your heels. Squeeze the heels towards each other. Inhale as you rock towards the wrists. Exhale as you shift back. Press through the bum here towards your heels. And then let's do that a couple times. Inhale forward, exhale, push back. Inhale forward, exhale, push back. Let's do once more. And then you're welcome to stay right here if this is enough for you. Or walk the hands underneath your shoulders and then sit right back onto the heels. You can also stand on the knees with the toes curled under. Good. And then keep squeezing those heels in. There's a tendency to let the heels splay out to the side. So squeeze in a little. It's more integrity for the ankles. Relax the shoulders, relax your face. come forward. We'll uncurl those toes, give them a little tap out here. Ooh, that feels good, right? They get stiff. And let's roll or slide or glide the elbows right alongside your ribs and come all the way down to the belly. Slide the arms forward for Sphinx pose. Elbows land right under the shoulders. Stretch back through the toes, spread the toes. Try to be aware that you're not collapsing into the shoulders here, but stay lifted. And if anything, you're pressing your chest forward. Hands actually press down and back a little bit. Good. Stay present. And then let's lower all the way down. Stretch your right arm out along your right shoulder in line with your right shoulder. And then start to walk it away. So you open up the front chest and shoulder and then stack your hips. Let the head rest. If you'd like, you can take that top leg and then reach it all the way over, maybe touching your big toe on the floor. But if that's too much, and it might be for some of you, just go ahead and stack your legs. Pull that right shoulder down a little bit. Good. Let's take the other side, roll back onto the belly. Stretch that left arm out, walk it out, walk it out. Stack your hips. Maybe take that top leg and reach it all the way over, touch the toe on the floor. Or just keep your hips stacked. Really enjoy these nice, big, long, opening stretches. Okay, let's come back onto the belly. And then bring the arms back alongside the body here. Inhale as you lift everything you can up. Stretch back through the toes. Keep your legs strong and straight as you can make them. And then exhale as you lower down, nice and slow. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, lifting up. Engage in your back muscles. Exhale as you lower. Inhale, up. Maybe 1 more vertebra lifts up. Exhale, 1 vertebra down at a time. Once more. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Good. Slide those hands under the shoulders. Push back through child's pose. And just take 3 deep breaths here. Just recalibrate the breath. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make adjustments as you need to. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Just like everything, you're a very unique individual. Just like medicine is not a one-size-fits-all. Your food is not a one-size-fits-all. Yoga is not a one-size-fits-all. Good. And then let's come back up into tabletop, hands and knees. There's lots of different ways to do the posture, so just find your way. Okay, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. If you feel really tight in the back of your legs, bend your knees. Make sure the spine stays long. And we can start to pedal from foot to foot here. Just pressing through the heels, alternating. Inhale, let's come into that plank pose, hands and knees, plank pose. pose. You can always place the knees down, is what I meant to say. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back. Bend the knees if you need to. Now let's inhale into plank pose. Or maybe your knees are down. Exhale, up and back to dog pose. Let's do that once more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then look forward, and we'll take a little walk up to the top of the mat. Separate your feet hip distance apart. And then just let your upper body drape over your legs. You can place blocks under your hands if you need that. You can always just bend those knees as much as you need to. Create a softness. Relax your head, give it a little shake out. I'm just going to stay here just a little bit longer. It's a nice way to just calm down the nervous systems here. Head down below the heart. Hands on your hips. Press down through the feet and come up with a nice flat back, long spine. Adjust your clothing, whatever you need. Find yourself into Tadasana. And then we're going to stretch the right arm down away from the ear towards the floor. And then reach forward with that right arm. Straight up towards the ceiling like you're trying to touch it. And then all the way back, take your twist, look back towards the thumb, and complete your circle. Let's do that to the left side. Stretch the left arm down, forward, up, all the way back, reach back, look back. So this is active, you guys. You're not just circling the arm. You're actually stretching down, forward, up, and back. So alternate from side to side. Lots of energy in the arm. Enjoy the twist. Look back towards the thumb to stretch your optic nerve, your eyeballs. Follow the thumb. Good. Breathe with it. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you complete your circle. One more to either side. Inhale, full lungs. Exhale, reach back and complete your circle. Last one. So simple, right? But it feels so good. Let's interlace the hands behind the back, or if you feel really tight, grab a strap and hold on to it as close together as you can. Otherwise, interlace, open up the chest, and make sure the ribs are knitted in. Everything is pulling in towards the midline. So you're not just letting your ribs pop out. Pull them in. Bend your knees and put your belly and your ribs on your thighs. Okay, start to lift the arms up. Let the head stretch down towards the toes. Lift the shoulders up out of your ears and breathe. Such a great stretch. All right, very gently bring the hands to the small of your back. If you have the strap, release it. Let the arms release, stretch down and forward into chair. Sit those hips way back. Reach the arms way up. Open up the chest here. And then as you exhale, you're going to stand up and bring the hands around into heart center. Just take a breath. Back to chair pose. Reach the arms up and sit down into chair. So you have those two opposing actions. You're reaching up, you're sitting down. You're reaching up, you're sitting down. Try to think of getting the little back bend here. Tuck the tail down, sit down a little bit deeper. Breathe. Just firing up those legs. Keep the arms there and press all the way up. And then continue on your tippy toes, stretching the joints and the toes, the ankles. Don't be surprised if you're fighting for balance here. It's harder than it looks. And now lower the heels with control as you lower the arms alongside the body. Good. That's going to help reclaim that strength and flexibility in your ankles and your feet. Inhale, bring the arms forward and up and rise on your toes. Press more through the big toe. Nice and slow. Lower the heels and lower the arms as you exhale. It's okay if you wiggle and wobble around. Inhale, rise. Right, that's part of the practice of building the strength back. Exhale nice and slow as you lower. Now this last one, try to see if you cannot wobble. Try to really stay focused. Rising on your toes, press through the big toe. And then exhale as you lower. Very good. And now inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Keep your heels down. Take a little bit of a back bend here if that feels good for you. And then exhale, dive forward and down into a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, reach the chest forward, hips back. Exhale and fold. Let's step that right leg deeply back. So you're on the ball of your back foot, your right foot, and your knee is lifted. Lengthen through the heart, so your heart reaches forward. Press through the back heel. Good, then take that left arm up into a twist, reaching long across the chest. Stack the shoulders. Good, from here, take that back right knee down. Reach that left arm back. Keep reaching back. Maybe some of you can bend up the back knee and grab the toes and stay in that twist. Otherwise, just reach back as if you're trying to reach for someone. Someone's trying to hand you a cookie and you're trying to reach back for it. There's your motivation, you guys. Good. Actually feels really good. Okay, then release, frame your foot, and then shift back into hamstring stretch. Flex the toes. Take a breath. Lift up across the chest. Try to take the roundness out of your spine. One more breath here. Good. And then let's come forward into that low lunge. Just pause here. Let your hips melt forward. Lift up into the chest. Enjoy that stretch on that right hip. Slowly, right? We don't need to be in a hurry. Let's come back into tabletop, hands and knees. And then lower down, chaturanga. This is a modified chaturanga, and it's called Ashtanga Namaskar. Slide the legs back. Inhale into Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So remember, it's not a push-up. Shoulders are dropped down out of the ears. You're using your legs, you're using your spine. Hold here. Maybe take the hands away to make sure you're using just the legs and the spine strength. Lower all the way down, push back through child's pose, and just take another 3 breaths or so, just to recalibrate. Move the hips around if you need to. Breathe deeply. So it's funny, Ashtanga Namaskar, the 8 limbs pose, it's a modified chaturanga, but it's not necessarily easier. So don't worry if you can't quite get it, just do the best you can. And let's come into the tabletop, hands and knees. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Press through the heels, press through the hands. Relax your mind. Enjoy the inversion. It's very calming to invert. And then let's walk up towards the top of your mat again. Separate your feet hip distance, fold over your legs. On your next inhale, lift up halfway so your spine is nice and long. Exhale and fold deeply. Rise up, inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Maybe take a little back bend there at the top, and then you're exhaling, coming right back down again into that forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, reach through the chest, hips press back. Exhale, fold, step your left leg back deeply. So you're on the ball of that foot. And then pressing through the heel, but also reach the chest away from your heel. So you're nice and long. Right arm's gonna reach up into a nice twist here. You can always use a block underneath that left hand, you guys. Stay long in the spine, stay twisting, and then placing that left knee down gently. Reach that right arm back as if you were trying to touch something or grab that cookie. If you want, you can bend up the back knee. If it's available, grab the toes. If not, stay in the first stage, no problem. Find your own prescription. That's why there's so many options. Good, and then let's release, come into that, framing the foot, and then shift back and flex your toes. And just hold here, enjoy that hamstring stretch. I always find it funny when people first start doing yoga, they say, you know, oh, I'm too tight to do yoga. I'm like, what? That's like saying you're too dirty to take a bath. Like, that's why you do it. And there's modifications. It's funny. Things that just makes me chuckle a little bit. Let's take one more breath, lift up across the chest. Nice, and then let's come forward into that low lunge and go ahead and stay here for about 3 or 4 breaths. Get into that left hip flexor. It's good to remember that it's a self-care system, right? This is a self-care. So you would not be caring for yourself if you forced yourself to do something your body's not ready. So meeting your body where it is, meeting yourself emotionally where you are, is so important to create such awareness. And that's what this is, an awareness practice. Consciousness-based system. Good. And step back into hands and knees. Let's try that Ashtanga Namaskar again. Let me give you a little pointer, a little trick if this is hard for you. Hands and knees, slide or glide your chest forward. And then elbows graze your ribs. Your chin and chest are going to come down, but your tail is going to stay high. And then slide through, and now you're perfectly set up for Cobra. Inhale, lift up across the chest, and then exhale, lower. And push back through Child's. And then we'll do that one more time. So inhale, come back into table. Shift slightly forward. Elbows bend straight back, not out to the side, straight back. Chin and chest come down, your tail is high. Slither through Bhujangasana. Inhale. Minimal weight on the arms. Exhale, lower. Good. Push back through Child's. And then just take 3 deep breaths here. Tabletop, hands and knees. Let's take thread the needle. Left arm is gonna glide or thread right behind the right arm until you can get on the back of that left shoulder. Let the head come down, the temple rest on the floor. And then bring your right hip back in space. It wants to shift forward, but try to shift it back. Nice twist here. trying to spiral your chest towards the ceiling. I mean, you're obviously not going to do that, but that's the feeling. Twisting. Wringing out the organs and the spine. Oh, so good. And let's release. Come out, take a moment before you take the other side. Okay, right arm's now going to thread right behind the left. Come onto the back of that right shoulder, let the right temple side of your head rest. Left hip shifts back in space and twist your mid-spine. I love that one. Let's come back onto hands and knees. And just for a little neutrality here, let's do a couple cat-cow. So inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And once more, inhale, head up, exhale, head down. Good. Come back to neutral, curl the toes, back into downward facing dog and breathe. Let's take Malasana as next. So I'm going to separate my feet the width of my mat and then drop my hips down, hands to the heart. So I realize that this is not for everybody. Not everybody can get down here. So what you'll do is you'll just start by widening your legs and then place your hands on your knees and just push the knees out and let your hips drop down. So you're feeling the inner thigh stretch here. But if you can get all the way down there, that's great too. Make it work for you. It's going to work however you can do it. It's going to be the optimal benefit for you and your body. However you can do it, whatever you can manage. And let me just show you something here from the side. You want to take this out. You see how I'm rounding? So let's try this. Lengthening, lifting up, hands to the heart. Very good. And then bring the hands down, lift your hips up. Walk your feet in so they're about hip distance apart. And then hands on your hips and press down to come up with integrity and awareness. Nice long spine. Let's take a nice wide straddle here. Bring the arms out wide. And then turn the right toes to face out. And bend into that right knee and then straighten again. So just do that a couple times. Bend and straighten. We're going to transition now into Warrior Two, but we're also going to do a little fun little sequence here to challenge your balance. Okay, so you may want to watch me for this first one. We're in Warrior Two. I'm going to let my left arm drop along my body. I'm going to roll onto the ball of my back left foot as I reach the arms up into high crescent. And then I'm going to reverse it. Left arm's going to go glide along my body, reach back, and spin my back heel back down, Warrior Two. So try to join me. I'm going to let my left arm drop, roll up onto the ball of my left foot, reach up high crescent, and then just put it in reverse. Let the arm glide back along the body, spin the back heel down, arms reach long. Let's do it 2 more times. Arms reach up, ball of the back foot. Left arm reaches down, reach long, spin back heel down. Okay, once more. So you're just flowing with that movement. Very good. Now let's straighten up the legs. I hope that was okay for you guys. Firm the legs. Make sure. Lengthen from your waist and come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach up, look up if you can, and try to lengthen your spine on the side body as well. Not just the back or the front, but also the underneath right side. then looking down, this is where you might want to grab your blocks. So I'm going to bend my right knee just a little bit to bring my hands down to frame my foot. Take your back left foot and step it up about a full foot and spin your back heel down. So both legs are strong, they're active, but you can always bend that right knee. You're framing your foot. Shift your right hip back in space so you get a nice level sacrum. Inhale, reach up out of the waist. And maybe you stay there or fold over that leg. This is pyramid. Parshvottanasana. Wonderful hamstring stretch. Good. And now standing split. I know that sounds a little bit aggressive. It doesn't have to be. Bend your right knee just a little bit. And then shift the weight forward and just lift that back leg. Maybe it's just a couple of inches off the floor. It's okay. Straighten the right leg. Hands on blocks maybe. And then lift the leg. See if you can get it in line with your hip. If you're really flexible, you can lift the leg up a little higher and maybe walk your hands in towards your standing foot. And now we'll step the feet together at the top of the mat. Chair pose with feet together. Draw up your hips, peel the chest up, inhale, and then press all the way up to stand, hands to heart center as you exhale. Shift the weight to your right leg and spin the left knee out to the side and come into tree pose. So a little more balance. Arms can reach. It's okay if you fall 10, 15 times. That's why we're doing this, so you can practice your balance. Good. We're not going to stay too long. One more breath here, wherever you are. If you fall, come back and then end on a good note. Consciously place the foot down, bring the hands to the heart, take a breath. Good. Open back wide into that wide straddle, reach the arms long, and then now left side. Turn your left toes to face out. Bend and straighten into that left knee, maybe 3 times. Good. Just lubricate that hip, warm it up a little bit, and then find your warrior 2. You have a heel to heel alignment. That's what you're looking to have there. Drop that right arm along the body. Arms are reaching up alongside the ear. You roll onto the ball of that right foot. High crescent lunge. And then allow that right arm to drop along the body. Spin your back heel down. Warrior 2. So now you got that sequence. Go ahead and go right into it. And I do have a little trick that would be helpful if you feel unstable. You want your core, your pubic bone and your ribs, everything to pull in towards each other, and that will help you stabilize if you feel a little wobbly. Let's do this once more. Remember to go ahead and smile and laugh at yourself. Straighten up the legs. Lengthen from your waist. And come into triangle pose. So it's just yoga. You guys, we can find a little bit of lightness and a little bit of fun. And be easy on yourself. Just moving the body. Moving the breath. Good. Then look down. You can go grab your blocks if you need to. Place them on either side of your foot. And then step up with your back foot, right foot, to shorten your stride. It's about 3 feet, I think. Wrap your left hip back so you level out the sacrum. You can always bend that front knee, but don't bend the back knee. Keep the back leg anchored. Find your stretch here. About 3 breaths or so. Stay lifted out of the waist. That's important. Try not to collapse. Stay lifted. And then as you're ready, we can try that standing split. So bend your knee and then lift that right leg up. Your hands can be on blocks right out in front of you, or you can slide them so they're more in line with your standing foot and lift your leg a little higher. So your toes, your back toes, should be stretching up towards the ceiling and not out to the side. So rolling that back right hip down, lift it up from there. That makes a big difference in that left hamstring. Good, and then we'll place the feet together at the top. Sit down into chair pose, inhale, squeeze those knees together, and then press up to stand, hands to heart center. And now we shift the weight to our left leg. Spin the right knee out to the side. I think I have that right. So whatever side you didn't do, come into tree. And then when your balance is with you, you can lift the arms up. Notice how your standing foot is fighting for that balance, right? It's moving all across the sole of the foot, creating that strength. One more breath here. If you fall, come back. And then we'll release. Very good. Take a breath here, hands to the heart. Having a little gratitude for the fact that you can balance on one foot. And then inhale, stretch the arms out and up, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, dive forward and down. Always feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, lift up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, step back into plank pose. And then you can lower yourself down however you like. Inhale into that cobra pose, Bhujangasana. And then exhale, lower down. And then this time, stack your hands underneath your forehead. And then bend your left knee out to the side. So your knee is going to be bent and right in line with your hip. You might want to take a look just to make sure. Flex your left foot behind your knee. And then I'm going to have you come up into Sphinx pose. So this is pretty interesting hip opener here. It's definitely more of a yin style right now. You're just settling into this. You allow your pelvis to settle. Gives a nice opening for that hip. We'll just be here another 10 seconds or so. I want you to really explore it, enjoy it. Remember, you're just being, you're allowing, you're relaxing. A big part of allowing is allowing your body to adapt to the shape that you're asking it to do. Okay, then to come out, we're going to lower your head, again, back down onto your stacked hands. And then stretch that left leg back behind you. Wiggle your hips a little bit. And then bend up your right knee out to the side. And then come up into Sphinx pose on this side. So try to move that knee a little further away from your hips so you feel the widening. You feel that inner thighs start to come down towards the mat. Lift up across the chest. Nice easy breaths in and out the nose. Just enjoy that. Enjoy this slowing down process. Taking care of yourself. Just a little bit longer here, and just notice the coolness of the breath as it comes in the nostrils, and the warmth of the breath as it leaves the nostrils. So we'll take 2 more breaths like that with that awareness. And then let's release all the way down. Stretch that right leg back, and then go back to stacking your hands. Rest the forehead. Bend the knees, and then just windshield wiper your legs. Good. And then let's go ahead and push back to your child's pose for a brief moment. And then we're going to set up for some bridge and legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall, that's okay. We're going to use, well, of course you have a wall. You're in your house. But if you don't have one accessible to you and it's not convenient, you can just do it this way. So let's grab our blocks. This is a great one to do to lower stress. Awesome. It's nice to do it against the wall, but you don't really need to. You can take your block and place it on maybe a medium level, or you can take 2 blocks. And then just lift your legs up. And so this should feel pretty effortless. It shouldn't feel like you're straining the core or the back or working really hard. It's like you're hanging your legs up. The ankles should be over the knees, and the knees right over the hips, not in front of or behind the hips. You can always soften the knees if you need to. But again, it should be, you should be pretty comfortable. And this one is really good for our blood pressure. It's great for digestion. If you struggle with varicose veins, circulation, this is wonderful to do every day, especially mid to the end of the day. All these tools that we have to help ourselves. Just a little bit longer here. It's very calming. This is actually an inversion. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees, take the feet back down onto the mat, and then take the block away and go into bridge. Walk your shoulders a little closer together. Maybe you can interlace the hands, and then just lift up. Everything lifts up. You're pressing down through the arms, the feet, the shoulders, back of the head, but everything else is lifting up. Good. One more breath there. Maybe lift up a little bit more. And then slowly lower down. One vertebra at a time. And then just pull your knees in to your chest. And let your knees drop out to the side. Hold on to your knees. Let them drop out to the side. And instead of gluing the back down, just relax here. Just let the knees drop open. This is kind of like a modified happy baby pose, I would say. You can stay here, or you can flip the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling and actually go for happy baby. Good. Everybody take a breath in through the nose. Open up your mouth and sigh it out. And then let's bring those legs back together. Place the soles of the feet down onto the mat. And let your knees just drop out to the side. So this is called Baddha Konasana. Breathe in, nice and steady. Inhale through the nose. Pause with the breath in. Exhale through the nose, nice and steady. Pause with the breath out. And repeat that. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. And once more on your own. And then draw your knees together. Let's hug the right knee in and stretch your left leg long. We'll just squeeze down into the right hip. Flex the left foot and circle the right ankle. And then go the other direction. And then release the ankle and move to the hip. So now circle in the right hip. And then go the other direction. Take your strap, please, if you have one. If you don't have a strap, you could use a towel, or you could even use a shirt or a belt and loop it around your right foot. Anything would work. Okay, stretch your left leg long, flex your right foot, flex your left foot. And then I want you to put a little bit of attention here. 80% of the effort is in your legs, only 20% in the arms, so make sure you're not over efforting in the shoulders. Use your legs. Breathe here into that hamstring for another full breath. And then we'll take that right leg out to the side, reach the left arm out to the left. Hold on to your strap with your right hand. And again, legs are active. They're doing most of the work here. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. Take the strap into the left hand, reach the right arm out to the side. You can always scoot your hips a little bit to the right. I happen to like that. I get into a little more of a twist here. Try your best to square your chest towards the ceiling and then crossing that right leg over towards the left. Relax your neck. Remember to let go, relax. 3. On your next inhale, lift your leg back up. Get yourself back in line on your mat here, and then we'll take pigeon. So cross the right ankle over the left knee. You're gonna bend up your left knee. You can stay here with your left foot on the floor, or you can interlace your hands beyond your left thigh. So they both offer something different. I would try them both. Spend a little time. Okay, remember to breathe in and out the nose. Noticing the coolness and the warmth, the texture. And then stay in this figure 4 shape. Place the left foot down onto the floor if you have lifted it. And then just drop all the way over to the left side. So your right foot and your left knee, they're very close together and they're on the floor. You can reach down and hold on to your ankle if it's available, and then reach that right arm out to the side. If you can't quite reach the foot, that's okay. Just keep it planted. Push the knee away with your muscle energy and reach long with that right arm. This is a nice one. It's really good for the piriformis. It also gets into the iliac crest here along the rim of the hips. And then let's come back up through center and just extend your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake out. And then notice the difference, how the right feels compared to the left. Bend up the left knee, squeeze down into that left hip, and then just circle your left ankle. Go one direction, and then go the other direction. Go your camel, Charlotte. Good. Relax the ankle, and then move to the knee. A little loudmouth here. Move to the hip, rather, is what I meant. You guys probably knew that. And then go the other direction. So good. I love the circles. Feels so good on the joints. But sometimes you have to modify and go slow and maybe keep it small. Okay, let's take that strap now and loop it around the instep of the left foot. Remember 80-20. 80% of the legs, only 20% in the arms. This is a wonderful sequence here for the health of your entire spine. So I always like to, usually don't forget this. And then let's take that leg out to the left as you bring the right arm out to the side. Remember your legs. And stay here, just another breath. And where can you relax a little bit more that's not needed to be tense? Use your in-breath to come back up through center, and then take a hold of the strap. You can also scoot your hips a little to the left, re-extend the right leg, and then start to cross the body. Keeping your shoulders square. So oftentimes we're using muscles that we don't really need to be using. They're on this chronic stress response. ready to fight at any moment. So notice where that is in your body and consciously relax those areas. This will be so profoundly helpful for you if you can become aware of where you're holding chronically and consciously relax. Good. And then inhale, come back up through center. And then we'll slide that right foot to the floor and we'll take that figure 4 and just stay here for a moment. Enjoy that stretch. It's kind of more in the front of your hip. Anchor the pelvis and the low back. Then from there, push the knee away from your body. And you can stay there or go for that second round or the second variation. Interlace beyond your right thigh. I always catch my neck overworking, so maybe that's you. Check in with the neck. Just one more breath here, relax. And then take that right foot down. And then we're going to drop all the way to your right. So keep the left foot on the knee. Stay connected. And come all the way down onto the floor. Let your right knee come down to the floor as well. Hold on to the foot and then reach out long. If you can't get the foot, that's okay. Just do the best you can to keep your foot in place. I find that this one gets those hard to reach areas, you know, the little weight, the muscles in the waist, that's hard to stretch. Good, and then very gently come back up through center and then extend the legs out long. Take a breath in through the nose, nice and easy and full. And then exhale through your mouth and relax. Moving into Shavasana, so get yourself comfortable however you need, whatever you need to make that happen for you.